next topic is by Dr. Nishil Shah on common myths in clinical and lab rheumatology. Dr. Nishil Shah, and over to the moderators.
I request Dr. Jayesh Bhai, sir, to give a short introduction of Dr. Nishil Shah.
Dr. Nishil Shah is a leading rheumatologist practicing at Taksasila Apartment, Majura Gate, Surat, practicing since 6 years. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Slides, please. After hearing intravascular heart intervention and keyhole surgeries of this brain and spine, welcome to the small sub-branch of the internal medicine, that is rheumatology, but having a big myth in all disease, drugs, and the lab evaluations. We are a small branch, almost 15 to 20 disease, 5 to 8 drugs, and 4 to 5 lab reports. But I challenge in each and every disease, drugs, and lab, there is myth, and myth at present in almost 50% of the cases. So, I will give you a good time to ask questions to me so we can change your mind of this disease, drugs, and the lab. So my lecture will start on reverse basis. Can you please ask me some questions which do you find difficulties in your routine day-to-day OPDs regarding rheumatology? Because earlier, this is the first conference where the small sub-branch of internal medicine is having 2 lectures. Otherwise, almost all specialties having 1 lecture, plus today in RADC Con, there is 2 lectures of the rheumatology. So please, can you ask me the questions? Otherwise, I will start my small talk of 5 to 7 slides only to discuss myths and facts of the rheumatology. Anybody having questions? Nobody. So we will talk after my lecture starts. So first, difference between what is arthralgia and arthritis. Arthralgia is no pain, no swelling, and no tenderness. Almost in your whole OPD, 80% of the patients having arthralgia, but they came to us with arthritis. It's not arthritis, it's arthralgia. Patient having some sort of the psychosomatic component, or his pain pathways are sensitized. So small stimulus of the pain aggravates each and every parts of the body. So first we have to differentiate it between arthralgia versus arthritis. Second myth, all joint pain is not a rheumatic fever. The patients come to us having a joint pain. Almost 20 to 30% of the patients having a report of ASO titer, and that ASO titer is high, and patient is advised to take injection Panidura or whatever the prophylaxis for the rheumatic fever. But my opinion, in recent era, in antibiotic era, in the era of the cephalosporin and the cefixime, almost all the URTI patients took antibiotic within 2 to 3 or 5 days of the illness. So there is a less chances of the rheumatic fever in this recent era, and it is almost negligible after 15 years of the age. If your patients having an age of 5 to 10 years of young boy having some sort of this migrating joint pain which includes large joint, then you can think. But 99.9% in my 7 years of this practice, I do not find any case of the acute rheumatic fever at present. Anybody finds, you let us know. Any arthritis ASO titer raise is not a rheumatic fever. Definitely, ASO titer is an antiseptologin antibody. It is a past infection of the streptococcus which induced streptococcal antibodies. But the patient's having a ASO titer high, so patient thinks this is a rheumatic fever. Second thing, all migratory joint pain is not a rheumatic fever. In rheumatic fever, patients or doctor says ke farto sando, ek pachi ek sando dukhya kare. But in palindromic rheumatoid, that is farto sando, palindromic rheumatoid arthritis, having migratory small joints and large joint involvement. In palindromic rheumatism, only single joint is affected, which lasts for almost 48 to 72 hours and is spontaneously subside, or patient took any NSAIDs and the pain is subside. So in that cases, maybe rheumatoid factor may be negative, but in that cases, please advise anti-CCP antibody that is highly diagnostic for the palindromic rheumatoid arthritis. And the patient gives classical history, સાહેબ ખભો પકડાય તો શર્ટના બટન બી ના પહેરી શકાય અથવા વાળ બી ના ઓળી શકાય અને મટી જાય તો ભૂલી જવાય. કાંડું પકડાય તો કાંડું હલી બી ના શકે. So this is called migratory palindromic rheumatoid arthritis rather than rheumatic fever. Because we learned that ફરતો એક પછી એક મોટો સાંધો પકડાય તો give high dose of the aspirin and do the ASO titer. But in recent era, think of palindromic rheumatoid arthritis in that of migratory joint pain. So we come to the specific disease. We have only 3 diseases for the discussion: rheumatoid arthritis, spondyloarthropathy, and gout. These are the common problems in day-to-day practice. So first we start with the rheumatoid arthritis. Age. The patient came to us, સાહેબ આ મારી છોકરીની તો બહુ નાની ઉંમર છે, આ ઉંમરે વા થઈ ગયો, હજી તો એણે આખી જિંદગી કાઢવાની, હજી માજીને થાય તો બરાબર છે. But the rheumatoid arthritis is a young age disease. It usually occurs between 15 to 40 years of the age. So young lady 15 to 40 years of the age come to you with all joint pain or inflammatory arthritis, please work up for the connective tissue disease. Please work up for the connective tissue disease, that is rheumatoid arthritis, CBC, ESR, or maybe anti-CCP or ANA, depending upon of the symptoms. But don't think કે નાની ઉંમરમાં સાંધાનો દુખાવો કાં થવાનો. Young age patients having a inflammatory arthritis, because these are the genetic disorders, and in 15 to 45 years of the age where the environmental factor affects these genetic predispositions, there may be startings of all the connective tissue disease. Sex, yes, of course, females are most commonly affected in all type of the connective tissue disease. There is a ratio of the 9:1 in almost all connective tissue disease, but male can be affected in the rheumatoid arthritis. That is, ratio is 1 or 2 per 10 patients. Those patients who have a history of smoking, because citrullination process, that is anti-CCP antibody, that begins in the lung because of the smoking aggravates, and then the patients develop this inflammatory arthritis symptoms. It could be a rheumatoid arthritis. So male and female both are affected in rheumatoid arthritis, but yes, of course, ratio females are most commonly affected in all the connective tissue disease, because estrogen plays a major role for the pathogenesis of all the connective tissue disease. Extra-articular involvement. We sometimes say the patient કે તમને આંખનો વા છે, અથવા તમને ફેફસાનો વા છે, અથવા તમને નસોનો વા છે, અથવા તમને કિડનીમાં વા છે. This is an extra-articular involvement of the rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis can affect each and every organ of the body. It affects the eyes, that is rheumatoid scleritis. It affects the nerves, that is rheumatoid neuropathy. It affects the lung, that is interstitial lung disease, or it could affect the eyes and the mouth, that is called dryness of the eyes and dryness of the mouth, that is called secondary Sjogren syndrome. So patient is affected if untreated. After 4 to 5 years of the untreated rheumatoid arthritis, patient develop each and every extra-articular manifestations like scleritis, Sjogren's, ILD, neuropathy, or it could be a rheumatoid vasculitic ulcers. In that cases, this convention demands like methotrexate, leflunomide, sulfasalazine, which is not useful. We have to go for the higher immunosuppressants, that is cyclophosphamide, mycophenolate, or the azathioprine with high dose of the steroids. એટલે કામ શાંતિથી સાદી દવામાં પતી જતું હોય તો પેશન્ટને એક્સપ્લેન કરવાનું, પ્લીઝ કન્ટિન્યુ ઓલ ધ મેડિસિન, અધરવાઇઝ આગળ સામે મોટો કૂવો છે. ડાયટ. Almost all the patients and the general populations have a myth કે ખાટું ખાવાથી સાંધામાં દુખાવો વધે છે. We rheumatologists have a paper of almost 72,000 of the patients where the studies done in the Lucknow. There is no significant difference કે ખાટું ખાવાથી સાંધાનો દુખાવો વધે છે અથવા વાયડીવાળી વસ્તુ ખાવાથી સાંધાનો દુખાવો વધે છે. It is subjective analysis કે હું આ ખાઉં એટલે મારો સાંધાનો દુખાવો થાય છે, પણ એ જ વસ્તુ જો બીજો પેશન્ટ રૂમેટોઇડ અથવા ઇન્ફ્લામેટરી આર્થરાઇટિસનો ખાતો હોય તો એને કોઈ ફરક પડતો નથી. સો અવર આન્સર્સ ટુ ધ પેશન્ટ કે તમને જે વસ્તુથી એવું લાગતું હોય કે દુખાવો થાય છે એ વસ્તુ અવોઇડ કરો, બટ ધેર ઇઝ નો જનરલાઇઝ સેન્ટેન્સ કે ખાટું ખાવાથી અથવા આ વસ્તુ ખાવાથી સાંધાનો દુખાવો વધે છે. ધેર ઇઝ નોટ મચ યુઝફુલ diet which useful on inflammatory arthritis, but yes, useful for abdomen, useful for the bone metabolism, that is useful for the generalized condition of the patient. Otherwise, inflammatory arthritis માં ઓછું ખાઈશું તો દુખાવો ઓછો થઈ જશે કે સોજો ઓછો થઈ જશે, that is myth. No urgency to treat RA. છે RA થયું છે, લાંબો ચાલવાનો છે, ક્યાં ઉતાવળ છે, ધીમે ધીમે ટ્રીટ કરશું. But the recent study suggests aggressive treatment needed in the early phase of the rheumatoid arthritis. Aggressive immunosuppression is required in early phase so we can decrease all the inflammatory cell line. The patient goes in the remission in the early phase within 6 months of the disease, so we can prevent bone erosions. We can prevent extra-articular complications of this rheumatoid arthritis. So, bombard with higher dose of the disease-modifying drug, not with 2.5 or 5 milligram of the methotrexate, then gradually over 3 months, 6 months, 7.5, gradually 10 and gradually 15 over 2 years. Rather than reverse, bombard with 15 milligram, after 6 months, taper it off according to the patient's conditions. The second, our most common inflammatory arthritis, that is spondyloarthropathy. First of all, rheumatoid arthritis and spondyloarthropathy is a different inflammatory arthritis. It is not a same arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis mostly seen in the female patients, rather spondyloarthropathy is seen in the male patients. Rheumatoid arthritis having a small joints involvement, spondyloarthropathy having a major of lower back involvement. Rheumatoid arthritis mostly affects all the extra-articular organs, rather spondyloarthropathy less likely affect any major organ. It affects from cervical to the lower back pain, and usually it affects large joint of the involvement. So knee, ankle, shoulder, and elbow, these are 4 most common joint involvement in the spondyloarthropathy patients. And these patients are 90% of male patients having a HLA-B27 positivity, rather rheumatoid arthritis having a RA factor and anti-CCP antibody. These patients come to your OPD with lower back pain. Sahib, bahut kammarma dukhawo thai che. All having a mechanical back pain? Yes, of course, because our 70 or 80% having a sedentary sitting lifestyle or heavy workload. Diamond workers having continuously sitting from morning 7 to evening 7, so there may be a compressive element, or those who are hard worker having a burden on their head which gives the compressive pain on the lower back. But how you differentiate in your routine OPD? રાત્રે ઊંઘ આવે છે? Just ask one question. રાત્રે ઊંઘ આવે છે? ના સાહેબ, રાત્રે બી ઊંઘ નથી આવતી. એક બાજુથી બીજી બાજુ પડખું ફરવું હોય ને એટલે ભયંકર દુખાવો થાય. રાત્રે 4 વાગ્યાથી હું જાગું તે સવારે 8 વાગ્યા સુધી મારાથી સહન નથી થતું. This is inflammatory back pain. This is not a compressive back pain. This is not a sciatica back pain. This is incompressive pain. તમે મિકેનિકલ કોમ્પોનન્ટને દૂર કરી દીધો, એનો હેવી વર્કલોડ દૂર કરી દીધો એટલે રાત્રે શાંતિથી ઊંઘી જાય. જ્યારે સવારે એને પાછું બેસવાનું આવે, જ્યારે સવારે પાછું એને ડિલિવરી માટે બાઇક ઉપર જવાનું આવે, તો સવારે જ્યારે હેવી વર્કલોડ આવે, then again pain started. In inflammatory back pain, આખો દિવસ સારો જાય, રાત્રે 4 વાગ્યાથી દુખાવો ચાલુ થાય તે સવારે 8 વાગ્યા સુધી. જેવું કામ ચાલુ કરે ધીમે 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 દુખાવો એનો ઓછો થઈ જાય, એટલે આખો દિવસ એનો સારો જાય ને ઘરે આવે એટલે દુખાવો. સો આસ્ક ઓનલી વન ક્વેશ્ચન, રાત્રે ઊંઘ આવે છે અને રાત્રે પડખું ફરવામાં તકલીફ પડે છે ઇન યંગ મેલ પેશન્ટ્સ 18 to 40 years of the age, think of spondyloarthropathy. In male patients, rather than giving advice for RF factor or anti-CCP, think of X-ray pelvis with both hip or HLA-B27 or CRP, because in male patients 90% of the patients are spondyloarthropathy. So anti-CCP is almost waste of money. Think first spondyloarthropathy, it comes negative, then think of other inflammatory arthritis. All HLA-B27 negative does not mean it's not ankylosing spondylitis. 20% of the cases where HLA-B27 is negative, where patients having all signs and symptoms of inflammatory arthritis. Monoarticular large joint pain with high ESR doesn't mean TB. Still, single joint involvement patients come with AKT taking since last 2 months, but no response, then they think of any inflammatory arthritis. Monoarticular, single joint can also be affected in inflammatory arthritis. So young male patients does not fit in the picture of tuberculosis, not much fever, not much weight loss, but single joint involvement. First think of any spondyloarthropathy component rather than tuberculosis infection. MRI is not always need for the diagnosis. X-ray pelvis at both hip is useful, and we can see the sacroiliitis in X-ray. Plain X-ray can shows also the sacroiliitis. The third most common, gout. The patients having mostly, સાહેબ મારું યુરિક એસિડ વધી ગયું છે, મને બધા જ સાંધામાં દુખાવો થાય છે. If we correctly treat uric acid, the 70% of this uricosuric drug is discontinued. Almost all the patients having a uric acid level of 6.7 or 7.2 and slight complaint of joint pain, the prescription is started with Febuxostat or Xyluric. It is not advisable. It is some short of the metabolic, some short of the age related. Do not treat your patients of hyperuricemia without comorbidities like diabetes and hypertension. The threshold should be 9 or 9.5. With comorbidities more than 60 years of the age, with some sort of the any renal or heart issues, with comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, threshold should be 8, 8.5, but do not treat 6.2, 6.5 or 7.2 without any symptoms or without any comorbidities. No need of the treatment. Just give diet modifications, just give hydration therapy, just give changes in lifestyle, weight reduction is useful for this uric acid level. Males are most commonly affected. Yes, of course, male is most commonly affected. Please do not advise uric acid in premenopausal women. 35, 40, 42, 25, 30 આજ સુધી કોઈનામાં યુરિક એસિડ જોવામાં મળ્યું નથી. They have 90% of fibromyalgic or psychosomatic pain, that is Happy Women's Day, or maybe this is inflammatory arthritis in 10% of the cases. Otherwise, these patients having uric acid કરાવશો આવશે 5.6 So after seeing reports, પેલો કાળો થઈને આવે 5.6 બોર્ડર લાઇનથી વધારે, so they are happy, જોયું મારું યુરિક એસિડ વધેલું છે એટલે જ મને દુખાવો થાય છે. But it is not because of the uric acid pain. Uric acid pain is a severe, unbearable, patient can't tolerate, રાતે 2 વાગે હોસ્પિટલમાં આવીને ઇન્જેક્શન લેવું પડે, that is unbearable pain. Gout can be polyarticular, yes. If untreated gout, it could be a polyarticular, that is called tophaceous gout. After depositions in all basic joints like great toe or small joints of the foot and ankle, the higher uric acid level can at any joint of the ear. Higher uric acid with no symptoms does not require treatment, definitely. Higher uric acid, please do not hurry in treating of the gout patients. Wait for some time. Consecutive 2 to 3 reports, more than 9, 9.5, with comorbidities 8, 8.5, to further cardiac and brain neuro complications. Fabulosus is better and newer for gout. Please, Xyloric, old and gold standard drug for treatment of the gout. Do not start in hurry for Fabulosus. It gives the better results to the patients. Now, thus uric acid hase ne sidhu 4 hase, the patient is happy. But long-term complications recently, before few months, the paper is suggested Fabulosus has some sort of the higher cardiovascular mortality and morbidity rather than Xyloric. Maybe this is industry-driven, but of course Xyloric is better, well-tolerated, time-tested, long-lasting drug. So start with Xyloric. If the patient is having a comorbidities like renal involvement or CKD patients or age and diabetes, then you can use with Fabulosus, but no comorbidities, no renal involvement, Fabulosus is better, Xyloric, that is allopurinol is better. Arthritis, higher uric acid doesn't mean patient having a gout. Uric acid is also a inflammatory marker like ESR and CRP. In rheumatoid arthritis, in spondyloarthropathy, small short of the higher uric acid level can be seen. So think or diagnosis for all the inflammatory arthritis. If undiagnosed, then tag as a gout. Otherwise, think of other inflammatory. Diet and gout, this is most important. I will change your mind today for the diet and gout. Almost all you have common myth, athwa almost I think smiling face is suggests કે બધાને ખબર જ છે થોડું, પણ પ્રોટીન આપણા ગાઉટના પેશન્ટ્સને બિચારાઓને દાળ ચણા મગ ખાવા દો. સો vegetarian protein is not harmful for the gout patients, but non-veg protein is harmful to the patients. So આજ પછી diagnosed gout patients, please don't tell them કે તું કઠોળ ખાવાનું બંધ કરી દે, એને ખાવા દો બિંદાસ, because vegetarian protein has a purine component, and vegetarian protein is a pyrimidine, and a pyrimidine does not metabolize in the uric acid, but non-veg protein has a purine which metabolize to the uric acid. So in vegetable protein, there is no component of the increased uric acid level. Rather than tell patients કે carbohydrate ઓછા કરી દો, એટલે ભાત અને ચોખા, ગળપણવાળી વસ્તુ, that is sucrose, એટલે ખાંડ, ગોળ, મધ, કાપેલા fruits ખાઈ શકાય, that is called ખાટા, એટલે vitamin C containing, but when the cut fruits converted into the juice, that is sucrose. So tell them patients કે fruit juice પીવાનું બંધ કરી દો. Non-veg of course બંધ, પણ કોઈનાથી ના રહેવાતું હોય તો give them permeability for the chicken. Otherwise seafood is totally banned. Alcohol of course banned, na revato hoy to whiskey is tolerable. Vitamin C is very, very much useful. Give them vitamin C high containing products like Limsi, that is a tablet, or khata fad fadadi khawanu ko, because vitamin C has a uric acid binding property, એટલે uric acid ને બાંધી લેશે ને યુરિન માંથી બહાર કાઢી લેશે. दूध વધારે પીઓ, दूध has a content of uricosuric, दूध વધારે પીવાથી યુરિક એસિડ ઓછું થવાનું છે. સો પ્રોટીન ખાવા દેવાનું, दूध પીવા દેવાનું, વિટામિન સી ખાવા દેવાનું, ભાત ચોખા એમ બી ખરાબ જ છે, વજન વધારે, એટલે એ બંધ કરાવવાના. અને ગળપણ એટલે કે સુક્રોઝ ઓછું ખાવાનું. વેજીટેબલ્સમાં કહીએ તો બધું તો બંધ ના થાય, પણ જે ખાવાનું ઓછું કરીએ તે ટામેટા, ફ્લાવર, કોબીજ આ ઓછું ખાઈએ તો એમાંથી ઓછું યુરિક એસિડ બને. અદરવાઇઝ થોડું બધું ખાવા, બાકી બિચારો ખાય શું પછી. લેબોરેટરી, યસ, RA factor positive doesn't mean it's a rheumatoid arthritis. RA factor can be positive in all the inflammatory arthritis, that is SLEs, systemic lupus erythematosus, Sjogren's syndrome, scleroderma. If RA factor is positive and patient does not that much joint pain, then think of Sjogren's syndrome, because RA factor is positive in 90% of the cases in Sjogren's rather than 65% in the rheumatoid arthritis patients. So RA factor can be present in other than connective tissue disease, that is tuberculosis, sarcoidosis, liver disease, or a lot of disease where RA factor can be. So RA factor positive આવી ગયું એટલે it doesn't mean that this is connective tissue disease. Give patients clinical profile, see patients clinical profile. If fits in the clinical profile of any connective tissue disease, then tag as a rheumatoid. Before 4 to 5 days, one patient is referred, patient having a high rheumatoid arthritis factor, that is 920 or 940. And patients come, સાહેબ મને તો કંઈ દુખતું જ નથી, મને તો ખાલી જનજણાટી થાય જ આખા શરીરમાં. And that turn out to be a patient is a vaginous granulomatosis. NTCCP, highly specific for the rheumatoid arthritis. If you are in doubt whether we tag as a rheumatoid arthritis or connective tissue disease, like, then you can advise to the NTCCP antibody. ANA by IF, most common myth, ANA by IF almost તમારા બધા જ પેશન્ટમાં પોઝિટિવ લખાઈને આવતું હશે, but doesn't mean કે patient having a connective tissue disease. It is useful for us કારણ કે પોઝિટિવ આવે એટલે રેફરન્સ મળી જાય, પણ the titration of the ANA is the most important. If 1:320 is the cutoff limit, not 1:100 or 1:200. Any report should be reported in the titration of 1:320 with positivity of the +2 or +3 with clinical symptoms. MTM, TB, Gold, almost all the patients of inflammatory arthritis having a MT, that is Montu and tuberculosis Gold patient, that is positivity. It doesn't mean the patient's having a tuberculosis. So it is not advised to report these patients on inflammatory arthritis.
Sorry, sir, 3 minutes left.
Thank you. Treatment part, please clear, methotrexate, leflunomide is not a steroids. Please don't tell your patients કે આ તો સ્ટીરોઇડની દવાઓ ચાલે છે, શરીર ખવાઈ જશે અને જીવન ટૂંકું થઈ જશે, જીવન લાંબુ રહેશે અને શરીર મજબૂત રહેશે જો methotrexate અને leflunomide લેતા રહેશો. Biologics, excellent drug, super results, but the cost is the almost bar for the patients to take this, because it is 9,000 to 10,000 per month. But recently, few months back, the tofacitinib is available in Indian market with very cost effective, 2,000 or 2,400. It is a JAK inhibitors. હમણાં કદાચ ઓલ્યુમિન્ટ બધા વાપરતા હશે કોરોના પેશન્ટ્સમાં. It is a variant of the tofacitinib. Glucosamine, not much use for the osteoarthritis patient. Please do not advise your patients to take glucosamine. It's a placebo effects for the osteoarthritis of the knee joints. Osteoarthritis, yes, give exercise, NSAIDs, otherwise TKR. Glucosamine or this, all the joint modulating drugs are not that much useful. It is just gives the placebo effects. Thank you. You can question me. This is joint pain should treat joint. This is the most important. Joint pain should refer to the orthopedic. Most common myth. Joint pain should refer to the rheumatologist. If patients having a single joint with traumatic involvement, single joint with specific trauma, then orthopedics. Otherwise, we are better to treat any kind of the joint pain of rheumatology. Rheumatic disease can't be cured, so no point to treat this. This is definitely a myth. It is not curable, but it is controllable. Any of the internal medicines disease like diabetes, thyroid, hypertension all are not curable. We can control it, like rheumatoid arthritis, spondyloarthropathy. We can control. We can give disease-free remission phase to the patients, pain-free life to the patients. In diabetes, hypertension, patients should take drugs for the lifelong. We are not saying કે અમારામાં lifelong. કદાચ 2 વર્ષ લઈ તો 10 વર્ષ remissionમાં બી જાય. And then again second attacks can, then we can start again this same kind of disease. Steroids and demand can't use for a longer period. Yes, of course, steroids do not use for a longer period, almost 6 months. But yes, DMARDs we can use with under observations of any general physicians or the rheumatologist to see the liver and kidney profile and time to day or interval evaluation to clinical profile. And thank you.
Excellent talk. Any question from audience? Yes.
Sir, almost in all the gouty patients of a young age having a metabolic syndrome, that is a diabetes, hypertension, higher weight, if we reduce the weight of the patient because we reduce the fatty tissue, then there may be chances of the decrease the lower line of the uric acid. Lifestyle modification with diet modifications, regular exercise, this helps to improve the metabolism of the patients, which reduce your uric acids level. So main thing, weight reductions. Almost all gouty patients having a higher range of the weight, BMI is higher, then if we reduce the weight, then there may be a chances of the uric acid level to reduce. क्या नाम है सर? संभळाતું નથી सर.
PD का स्कोर.
PD का स्कोर? सर I don't PD શું છે સર એ? PD का?
Something.
સર તમે જ કહેજો. I don't know this.
Actually, I mean, I am not aware of this PDCA score actually.
Okay.
The thing is, every MR they says the PDCA score is less than 1 for protein powder digestive ratio. That is what.
સર મને નથી ખબર. કદાચ સંજયભાઈ PD का સ્કોર, અનિલભાઈ, you know the PD score? PD का score? You know the PD का score? This I think સર મને નથી ખબર કે MR કહેતા હશે કે તે પ્રોટીન પાવડર પણ
Actually, it is protein digestive ratio.
Okay.
That is what. But the whole mechanism and that I don't know. That is what I wanted to know.
Okay. Of course, paneer and cheese are allowed.
Sir, what is non-serological rheumatoid arthritis?
Yes. Second name of the spondyloarthropathy, that is seronegative inflammatory arthritis, seronegative spondyloarthropathy. But what you are asking, that is seronegative or seronegative inflammatory, where
So, sir, many of patient clinically looks like rheumatoid
definitely.
arthritis.
So in these patients, patient having a classical symptoms, all the criteria fits for the inflammatory arthritis. Young patients, whether male or whether female, all joint involvement, inflammatory, early morning stiffness, all reports suggestive, hypochromic microcytic anemia, higher platelets counts, ESR is high, CRP is high, joint inflammation is there, synovitis is there, redness, pain, warmth, everything is there. But in 15 to 18% of the patients where RF factor, anti-CCP antibody, ANA by IF, and HLA-B27, these 4 reports we can do in our Indian laboratory. Other PDP or few of the reports are there that we cannot do in our Indian laboratory, where these 4 reports are negative. And we exclude the 2 conditions like infection and the malignancy. સર 10,000 માંથી એક પેશન્ટને મેલિગ્નન્સી પણ નિકળે છે અને 10,000 માંથી એક પેશન્ટને ઇન્ફેક્શન પણ નિકળે છે. So we rule out infection almost in every patient. We rule out in malignancy in almost every patient if the patient is higher age. I think મેચ અમુક ડૉક્ટરના ફાધરમાં બધું વર્કઅપ કર્યું હતું કે કદાચ કોઈ સેકન્ડરી પેરાનિયોપ્લાસ્ટિક સિન્ડ્રોમ નથી ને. So neoplastic rule out, infection rule out, when these 4 reports are negative, but patient fits in the inflammatory arthritis, then we can tag as it's a seronegative inflammatory arthritis. But treatment is same, that is methotrexate, sulfasalazine, or leflunomide.
PDCA is compare the amount of essential amino acid in food to a reference scoring pattern based on the essential amino acid requirement of a 2 to 5 year old child to determine its most limit amino acid.
Thank you.
થેન્ક યુ નિશિલભાઈ.
Thank you.
Very
Excellent
nice
talk.
and precise information about the rheumatology. So I request Dr. Jayesh Shah to felicitate Dr. Nishil Shah.
જ્યાં પ્રેમ અને સન્માન છે, જ્યાં ઊંચા સર્વ નિશાન છે,
જ્યાં વડીલ